Okay, this is Lonnie with Broken Shell Stamping, or Keep Your Eyes Open, whatever I used to call it. I am demonstrating a little album I made that I'm going to start a series of. This is made with these little manila envelopes, craft envelopes, what you call them. It is the 6x9 envelope. Pretty certain here. Yeah, the 6x9. So that's what this is made of. I love movable parts in my books. So your picture goes here. This is a frame. This is starting to be designed, but it's not completed yet. I just did most of the legwork, and this is using the last catalog's paper. So as you can see, it's just one of these folded in half, depending on what you want, but you want to leave the flap open for a pocket, because again, I like things to be moved and to be hiding and all fun things like that. So this is the little section here. So I have tags, and again, I'm going to go through all this, and there's the pocket that they go in. I love putting tags on albums. This is a spot for a 2x3 photo. So these are photos printed with the little printer. It's a photo printer. I have one right here to show you. These are little 2x3s printed with a Canon Ivy printer. They're perfect for scrapbooking, especially on the road. And this one will fit like right in here. The nice thing about these photos is they're self-adhesive, so you just peel the back and stick them right on. This is for a different book. So I have the little die cut here. This is a stencil I have from an old kit. So this, as you can see, is where the pocket would go. We have paper inside here, paper here, and then this is where you can put receipts, or in this case, I had a pearl set that I had bought that came with some information on the pearl. So that's what I'll stick in here for this particular event. As you can see, maybe you can or not, there's eyelets in this one. It doesn't have to have eyelets, but I use them because I still have some on hand. Then we've got the last two pages, and I have a side die cut here with those scalloped edges. And again, it's just more tags. This is a little stuck because I stuck it there. And I embossed those. And this is also going to use those little pictures. It's a little big for this tag, but I usually just cut that off, and then you can see the embossed side. When I'm finished with this, it'll have an area for a journaling block. And then you can also journal here. And this is the little die cut, and I just cut any little scraps out. This is the shell from the retired set. That was my favorite. And then we've got the back. Just a small little mini album that is pretty simple to make. You just need some cardstock or designer series paper and two envelopes. They're just two. I like to use old ones, but I don't have any old ones at the moment. The other thing I make these albums out of, which I'll eventually show, is a UPS envelope or FedEx. So there's the spine. It's just basically folded. So when you fold it with a little bit of an idea of where a spine will be, and then you flip it and go to the other side. So I'll demonstrate that later when I get those figured out, but that's the same type of concept. And then I just used 8.5 by 11 paper in here to make my pages. But the easiest way to do it is with these little manila folders. And the way I start out with it is I leave a little gap here, and you can measure it either a quarter or a little bit over the quarter of the inch. And then you fold it down. Use the bone folder to make sure it's more creased. Then you flip it over and fold it the same with that little gap there. You could score this too, but sometimes I just like to hands-on do stuff. It's supposed to look handmade. So then once you've got those 2 creases, now you've got your spine and inside. So I like to put the pocket towards the end, not on the front page, but it's up to whatever you want to do. For the second page, you really only need to do a little less, or even just in half, because it's going to be on the inside. It's going to stick out no matter what, because it's not made for the inside. So this is just a little introduction to my first project I'm going to post, and I'll do a couple pages and I'll show you how to bind them. You can use twine to bind them or ribbon. As you can tell, it still sticks out, but it doesn't really affect much, because once you start pushing it together, it will eventually kind of stick where it's pretty flat. So there you have it. Next time I'll show adhering this together, and then it's just designing the pages with designer series paper, stamps, whatever you want to use. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and have a great day.